Title AITA for turning the home I inherited into an Airbnb. My sister thought it would be a family home forever. Verdict: not the asshole. About 6 months ago, my grandpa passed away. For simplicity, his estate was worth about $1.5 million. In his will, he said that me, my sister, and my cousin would each get a 1/3 share. The way it was set up, his estate basically came down to 2 cash amounts and his beach home in California. The idea was that the oldest grandchild got first pick, the second oldest got second pick, and the youngest, me, got whatever was left. My cousin is the oldest, my sister Leah is the middle, and I'm the youngest. My cousin chose one of the $500 cash shares. My sister chose the other $500 cash share. That left me with the beach house. At first, I honestly felt like I got the short end of the stick. I'm not super wealthy, and a beach house in California sounds amazing until you realize you're responsible for property taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, and everything else. Meanwhile, my sister and cousin just walked away with $500,000 each in cash, no strings attached. Still, I loved my grandpa, and I knew how much he loved that house. It's in this old-school surf neighborhood that has been around since the 1950s. He used to tell us stories about how he bought it when the area was still cheap and how he wanted it to be a place the family could always come back to. So I decided to try to honor that and keep it, at least for a while. For the last 6 months, I've let my sister use the house whenever she wanted. She lives closer than I do, and she started treating it like a free vacation home. She'd go for long weekends, bring friends, host little get-togethers. I never charged her anything. I figured we were all still grieving, and if the house made her feel closer to our grandpa, I was fine with that. I, on the other hand, was juggling my regular rent, my job, and now all the bills for this beach house I wasn't even using that much. I knew there would be taxes, but I didn't really grasp how much until I got my first property tax bill. It was a lot more than I expected. On top of that, there were repairs that had been delayed while my grandpa was sick, plus rising insurance costs because of the location. I ran the numbers and realized I had 3 options: sell the house, move into it full-time, which would mean uprooting my life and job, or find a way to make income from it. I talked to a real estate agent and a financial advisor, and both basically said the same thing. If I wanted to keep the house without going broke, I needed to rent it out in some way. I really didn't want to do a full-time tenant situation because then I'd lose all flexibility to use the house myself. I also knew my sister would lose her mind if I sold it. So I landed on what felt like the compromise. Put it on Airbnb or a similar short-term rental site. That way I could block off dates if I wanted to go, and if my sister wanted to use it, she could book it like anyone else. It would still be in the family, but it would at least pay for itself. When I told my sister about this plan, she absolutely exploded. First, she was furious that she would no longer be able to use the house for free. She said Grandpa always wanted it to be a family home, and that by renting it out, I was commercializing his legacy. She said I was turning into a rent-seeking capitalist and that I was going to ruin the neighborhood, which she described as a classic surf community that had stayed the same since the 1950s. She started sending me long, angry emails, one after another, calling me selfish, greedy, and ungrateful. She said that if she had chosen the house instead of the cash, she would have let me stay there whenever I wanted, for free, and that I was betraying what Grandpa would have wanted. She also said it was not fair that her inheritance was gone because she used it to pay off debts and other expenses, while I was going to keep making money from mine. For context, she chose the cash. No one forced her. She had the exact same choice I did. She could have taken the house and I would have taken the money, but she didn't. Now she's acting like I somehow tricked her or stole something from her. I tried to explain that I'm not rolling in money. I can't just absorb thousands and thousands of dollars a year in taxes and upkeep for a house I don't live in. I told her the alternative would be selling it, and then it would be gone from the family completely. At least with short-term rentals, I can keep it, visit when I want, and maybe even let her use it at a discount sometimes if she asks respectfully. She wasn't having it. She said I was using capitalist logic and that I cared more about profit than family. She told me I was destroying the character of the neighborhood and contributing to housing problems. She even said Grandpa would be disappointed in me, which really hurt. I've always been pretty impressionable when it comes to her. She's my older sister, and growing up I usually just went along with whatever she said. Now I'm feeling a lot of guilt and shame, even though logically I know I didn't do anything shady. I inherited a house. I'm trying not to go bankrupt keeping it. She inherited cash and chose to spend it the way she did. Still, her words are getting to me. She keeps saying that family homes should stay in the family and that I'm turning ours into a business. I feel like I'm stuck between honoring my grandpa's memory and not destroying my own financial future. So, am I the asshole for turning the home I inherited into an Airbnb and asking my sister to pay if she wants to use it?